We wanted to dance. We wanted to spend this date night. This was our first date night where we had a sitter, and we wanted to get to that moment. But because everything was so unorganized, we had to leave. We didn't even get to dance with each other. I was so disappointed.
I do remember that. So
Welcome back to the Marvelous Moments podcast. I'm Cynthia, joined with Vishan.
hey everyone, we're back for episode 5. This one is actually all about Captured with Vishan. So if you don't know what Captured with Vishan is, it's actually a content creation service that I created off of Marvelous Captures. So Cynthia, from your perspective, give me your take of what Captured with Vishan is.
What started happening was brides were more constantly coming to us after their wedding, maybe the week later, asking for any short video clips we had, any photos they could post. And I think that's when you also started noticing these pop-up businesses for wedding content creation.
Yeah, I did notice a lot of other content creators were coming to the weddings and they were just coming and shooting with an iPhone. And sometimes they would put the iPhone on the gimbal and they would market themselves as wedding content creators. So while your wedding videographer is getting the important highlight shots, they're getting the BTS shots. So you can post those instantly and enjoy those moments. But it made me think really, because I was like, wait a second, I can kind of do that. Like,
I remember also you kind of complaining when you came back from a couple of your photo shoots or from some of your weddings. You were telling me that the content creator, the hired content creator, would get in the way of your shots when you're trying to take your professional shots for the weddings you were hired for. So it was kind of like, why is this individual here? I'm already capturing these moments. I can create those behind the scenes. You're getting in my way.
yeah, in a not such a mean way to put it, but yeah, it was kind of happening in that it wasn't even happening with just the content creator. It was happening with even photographer and videographer. When photographer and videographer on separate teams, it's like we're competing, and I'm like, wait, I think video should take priority for first, and the photography kind of go along the video side because you can stage photos. You can't stage the video moments. So I don't know because I do both perspectives. I've started as a photographer, then I learned videography. But as I've mastered video, I'm just like, there's a whole level of extra layer to video that you want to make sure you're capturing everything properly. So I like to let the videos lead on my team and then the photographers follow. So when you're going to a wedding and there's a photographer from a different company, videographer from a different company, then now you have this content creator. I was like, hold on, my brain is firing. I'm like, what if I get all of these guys under my same team? We all talk, communicate. Everybody keeps their branding and stuff like that. But now we have multiple artists and the bride can choose. So I was thinking, you as Marvelous Moments, you're the wedding planner. Brides come to you all the time. They're asking for recommendations, which caterer, which venue, which decor, which photographer. So essentially, I wanted Marvelous Captures to be obviously the main pitch, but under Marvelous Captures would be maybe 5 to 10, maybe like 15 even, like different types of photographers where the bride can choose, do I want this guy, and this guy? Do I want these guys for my video team? This is their portfolio for this team. Like, and have that network of photographers right under Marvelous Moments.
Right. So back to what we were talking about with the video quality and people showing up to do this content creation job with their iPhones. I mean, tell me a little bit more about that because you've spent a lot on your equipment and the quality that comes from these cameras is because these are professional grade cameras.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's what's like, even with any type of photo shoots, videos, like people just rather use their phones. But the one thing that you're not understanding is like, yeah, your phone can do the pretty good job. But it still comes down to the storytelling. It still comes down to the editing. It still comes down to the shot selection. How are you framing these videos? How are you doing these photos? So when you do these, you can get a lot done with the phone, but if you're trying to get to the next level, if you're trying to have multiple cameras, you're trying to have multiple perspectives, are you going to run a shoot with 5 iPhones? Personally, I wouldn't want to use 5 iPhones. I'm going to use 5 cameras, 5 real cameras. So having the cameras give you the ability to do a little bit more on the editing side. You're able to just color a little bit more, do a little bit more depth because the phone's camera sensors can only do so much. And
So
with
they're
weddings,
limited.
like obviously they do great for wedding content creation. I like using my wedding clips too. Like I'll pull out my phone and you'll see me using my phone too because actually those are the ones that go viral. The super highly edited drone shots with the some cinematic. Sometimes they'll pick up over time, but the ones that sometimes will go viral overnight is those iPhone clips.
I think it's nice to have the contrast. So, if you come to someone's wedding and you're already doing the photo video and then you take a couple of video clips, your video clips and the clips that you're taking with your phone, they're going to coincide. So then you get to do some really creative things with different angles and the way that you clip those videos together.
And that's what I define captured with Vishan is that now I'm taking the iPhone, I'm mixing in everything I know with my professional cameras, and I'm giving you a whole different layer. So one of my favorite videos was at a wedding with my favorite DJ. You know, he had this uncle keep coming up to him. This uncle kept requesting he wanted an Indian song. So my DJ's like, I got you, you know, and then it's like, just so happens though, I'm running 4 cameras at the time. So I got this whole moment on camera. And this is one of our biggest moments. I think this moment kind of set us off because it's like everybody started really recognizing us after that moment because they're like, the uncle edit. And then my DJ would be like, yeah, that's my guy. And I'm like, yeah, we did that video. Yeah. So that was actually one of my favorite videos. So if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. But with the wedding content creator and the, do-it-yourself wedding content creator, sometimes you'll just see that solo person. But with my team at Marvelous Captures and me being captured with Vishan, I'm going to bring a team of professionals. So that way you're going to get the standard shots covered, but that will allow me to be creatively free. So I can pull out whatever camera I need. If I need to use my GoPro, my iPhone, my $5,000 camera, or if I want to use, something simple as an Osmo, I want to have that flexibility where I know my guy Steven, my guy Randy, they're over there. They're getting those shots for us. You're directing everything if you're not the coordinator, and we're in just flow.
Some people are not so present on social media. So can you tell me a little bit about why these shots are so important, how they help, why they're important, why would someone want a content creator?
So for the main thing is like you need a photographer, trained seasoned photographer that can just see things fast, quickly adjust the settings, and then having that videographer with the same level is the same thing that goes to the content creator. It's all different art styles. So you're getting one specific art style with the photographer. The videographer is going to show up with theirs, but the content creator is the one that you can share almost instantaneously with the friends. That will go on TikTok. That's the short clips because not everybody's going to go through your entire wedding gallery. Nobody wants to see your entire wedding
And
gallery.
not everybody's going to have access to your entire wedding video. So if they want to see the highlights, that would be where content creation comes into play.
Oh yeah, and my favorite part is like breaking down the ceremonies, using these as teaser clips to the wedding film. Like now, like my personal style now is just to create almost like a documentary towards the wedding film, but having the shots built into the story. What is the story? It's your love story. It's you and your person. You guys are getting married. Let's document that. Let's highlight your from the beginning to now to where you guys may be in the future.
Like I said, getting married, it's like an entire wedding season begins. So having these short clips is just really fun to look back at, especially like a year later, if they show up on your Instagram or your Facebook.
And that's even like a callback to episode 1 because the one thing we didn't get for our wedding was video. So I only have like this one clip that I'll use to post on our anniversary where it's like all these other couples. I have all your guys' content that I'm recycling. So it's just like,
That is a huge regret, not having those video clip moments of our wedding because we did have a good wedding day.
oh yeah, the wedding that we had was like flowed really well. We had a nice reception. DJ was killing it. Everything was moving nice.
We had a wedding planner, guys. So get yourself a wedding planner and wedding coordinator.
But that's where we realized because we had a wedding planner, a wedding coordinator, then we just visited like 5 or 10 friends' weddings. We weren't even planning weddings yet. And we're noticing at these friends' weddings, like, why is the bride not here? Where's the groom? Why is this taking so long?
Oh, I remember the first wedding we went to after ours, and it just dragged on for hours. And we had a newborn. So we wanted to dance. We wanted to spend this date night. This was our first date night where we had a sitter, and we wanted to get to that moment. But because everything was so unorganized, we had to leave. We didn't even get to dance with each other. I was so disappointed.
I do remember that. So yeah, that's why it made me realize that actually maybe when you pitched me the wedding idea, I was like, that instantly was one of my callbacks. I thought about, and then I thought about our wedding and how our wedding flowed. But there was just details that we didn't get to have because just if you see episode one, you'll know.
Yeah, you'll
But
understand.
to bring it back to with the content creation side now, it's just like I realized from the weddings and all these other events that the short clips are ones that will stay, they will go and they'll keep coming back. And, sometimes you just like to look back at them. Like you might not go and want to watch your whole wedding film, but you'll look back at one certain clip. So it's like, that's why with Captured with Vishan was born. And then out of the, you being the guinea pig towards all the other photo shoots, the video shoots, we do studio work. We work in the family photos, any type of photos really. Like I don't know, but weddings personally is our specialization because of Marvelous Moments being like basically I would look at Marvelous Moments as a tree, and from that tree we then have Marvelous Captures, and then from that would be Captured Vishan and everything that branches from there.
Definitely. I think that's a good way to picture it. So we went ahead and we bundled in Captured with Vishan, that content creation. It's not a separate service. It comes with us when you book photo and video. So you're really getting that bang for your buck.
Yeah, so actually I don't even sell this as a separate service. It's just built in because personally I do this creatively for me, and I bring on these professionals because I want to get these moments where it's like if I need a certain lens, I want to know I have the ability to get that certain lens, get that shot, switch to this, switch to the camera, do however I need to do. And it's just like having that freedom is only possible when I have other professionals there. And that's where I learned this at working with a professional company. I was like, because I was like the fifth guy, I was so free to just move around and just look and observe. So being the fifth guy, now I'm the first guy. I'm like, okay, how as the first guy can I still be the creative vision for the couple? Because I don't want to give every couple the same style of video. Because personally, I think the standard industry style for videos is 5 to 6 minutes. You get some kind of like cinematic boom, 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 lead up, drone shots, slow mo, and maybe a couple snippets of audio. And it's not like for an Indian couple, it's definitely not going to be your Indian Bollywood music or anything like that. It's not going to have the actual rituals or anything like that baked in. And that's why me personally, I was trying to figure out how do I incorporate that into the videos, because if you don't have that in the videos, you're losing the.
Right. And we have such a rich culture. I mean, when it comes to every ritual has a meaning, there's nothing that's insignificant in these weddings. So every moment being captured so that you can create that storyline, it really is like a Netflix documentary. And that's what I really love about our videos.
Yeah, and that's what I built the videos over time, because I was just like, when I'm editing the videos, I'm trying to figure out, do I want to cut this? No, I like to build up the story. So it's like if we're gonna cut certain aspects of the ceremony, that's why I like to when you guys book with Marvelous Captures, I'll have you do a questionnaire and we'll talk about what's the most parts you want to highlight. How do you want the film to feel like? Ideally, the film will run anywhere from 15 minutes up to even 30 minutes. It just depends on how much things we have going on. Like some of my films, I've had like a 4-day event, I've had 2-day events, I've had single day events. Like one of my favorites was that 4-day event where I was able to blend 4 days, and I started the video on like day 3, which was their ceremony, flash back to day 1, lead into day 2, back to day 3, and end with day 4.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
And that was one of my favorite videos that I made. So if you haven't seen that one, go check it out. I'll link it up here somewhere.
Yeah.
But like she was saying, anybody who books with Marvelous Captures, you automatically get me because I'm your lead photographer, videographer at Marvelous Captures. I personally will go see who's available to come alongside me. Depending on your guest count is how I'm going to quote. So if your guest count is like 150, there will be a price here. But if your guest count is like 300, it'll be a slightly increased price. And you obviously can tell why, because I'll just need more hands on deck. So that's why I like to also bring multiple professionals with me, because they'll cover me if like something will go wrong. So because with weddings there always is a hiccup, and then if there is no wedding planner and coordinator, sometimes we are just having to like keep everything flowing for you guys, because we want to make sure we're getting all your shots. We want to make sure your video flows, you know, because ideally for the video, I want to make sure your video is unique to just you as the couple.
I personally really enjoy when I get to open my Instagram and I know that you're working hard behind the scenes making that longer wedding video, the full picture. But I get to see the little clips in between and I enjoy reliving those moments because it's so cute how you put it together.
Yeah.
And then I love seeing when the bride and the groom see it for the first time and you see that little heart and they like it. I get really excited.
Yeah, personally, I like that too. I like when I'm trying to tease the bride and the groom, and then they share it and they repost it, and
And then
then
the whole wedding party gets involved, the family members, we get all the cute little
yeah,
comments.
sometimes I'll see the video rise to like over 10,000 views, and I'm like, whoa, where did all these other people come from? But that's one of my favorite moments too. And then personally, one of my favorite things is just using like the Bollywood songs. I grew up watching Bollywood movies, so
You're really good at that because you'll ask me, you'll be like, "Well, what song should I use for this clip?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And then when I come back and I watch it, I'm like, "You picked the perfect song."
yeah, because like I'll even try to go to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT doesn't know Bollywood, and I'm like, I've seen hundreds of Bollywood movies, so I'm like scanning through my library, looking at the couple. I'm like, what's your style? Does Sheryl Khan match you? Let's go, bring on.
And each couple is so unique. Each wedding is so unique. So you really need that eye, that attention to detail. It's not all standard. It's not all the same. It shouldn't be treated the same way.
Yeah, and that's why personally for my Indian weddings, like I'm kind of biased towards them. I do love Indian weddings because we did have a Hindu wedding. I do mainly specialize in Indian weddings because, we are Indian.
Yes.
So I personally love just mixing the Bollywood element. So if you're a Bollywood bride and you're into all of that, let's do it. Like, give me the songs. I will make the edits to those songs. If you got dances planned, let me know so I can really make these dances really nice. So if you want to make this look like a next level, to the higher that we go, it comes down to the organization. It comes down to the coordination. And that's why I say get a wedding planner. And no other wedding planner than Cynthia, who is the leader of Marvelous Moments.
So let's see. Do it yourself content creation or a full team? I think the answer is pretty obvious at this point.
I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe some couples do like having separate photographer, separate videographer, separate content creator. But for my brides, for our brides, we want to give you a cohesive. You tell us what you want, and we'll deliver it. But this was episode 5, guys. Stay tuned for episode 6. That one's actually going to be a good one too, because I'm going to actually break down how much you should pay for this stuff.
Ooh, that's a very hot subject.
Yeah, because photography is not cheap. And, everybody is like trying to figure out, how do I get the most value? So I'm going to break that down for you guys in episode 6. Stay tuned. And don't forget to like and subscribe at the Marvelous Moments Podcast.